Hello! Welcome to the Glastonbury Poetry and Words stage. My name is Rosy Carrick and ordinarily I would be comparing the stage this weekend, but for now I'm going to instead read a poem from the sort of messy hovel of my house. So this is a poem from my collection Chokey and it is called Benefacted. It's a love letter to Arnold Schwarzenegger in case you don't pick that up from the poem itself. Dear Arnold, it's tough being poor, when you're a single mother with a taste for rubber, funding your own PhD on a poet nobody's heard of in a language nobody speaks. But now you have granted the soda stream. We can make as much champagne as we can manage. The seeds we need for our undernourished skin we'll steal from Tesco, and the parmesan for our cut-price tinned ravioli we will cultivate between the toes of our children's fertile feet. This evening, in the name of Terminators 1 and 2 and Genesis, we will feast like queens. Last week it was not so easy. I was desperate for a cup of tea, but the new red kettle Jake had bought me to replace the crap one from Maxine was acting exactly like a terrible lover. It kept on flicking its switch off before my water was close to boiling, so that on 2, maybe 3 occasions I had to forcibly hold it down to keep it going. At times like that, I long for tobacco. But I haven't smoked since I broke up with Adam, for real this time. I couldn't trust my resolve to be rid of him and needed to do something concrete as a sign of my commitment. Jewellery, I couldn't afford. And I knew I'd only pretend to like it. Hide it in a cupboard awkwardly and eventually give it away to someone whose tastes I don't understand, perhaps even myself without thinking. A secret Santa is not the same when you work in isolation. It was just too much. So the cigarettes bit the dust instead, and now I am fully faithful to my mouth but gagging to suck on something deadly again while I have my flashes of genius. I know, you know, red herrings, like distractions, rear their heads. It's hard when you have to somehow get through all 937 pages of Trotsky's The History of the Russian Revolution if that sweaty, formerly home-educated 20-year-old you taught last year who wears tights underneath his ripped jeans in support of the proletariat will ever want to have sex with you when, at every third page, you alternately fall asleep or give in to your compulsion to masturbate so that every night is insomnia-riddled in ripe sheets with fingers puckered more profoundly than a walker's deep-ridged crisp. But then, you'll always be a bodybuilder first, and this is my curse, as a passionate woman who works predominantly from home. It's impossible to be discreet about one's feelings in the real world when the very sight of the beloved object makes you literally gut yourself with recyclables, and the only advice your mother ever gives you is, well, Rose, you know what they say about people in your condition? Bound bitch jerks meat. Thank you ever and ever so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the Glastonbury weekend and that your lives are generally full of hope and joy. Mwah! Over and out, guys.